watching SOLA TV, a weekly look at all the inside on what's going on outside. And now, with your outdoor news, here's Joe Macaluso and Don Dubuque.
Hello friends, I'm Sam Barbera. What you're about to see is a culmination of a lot of dreams and a little bit of hard work. It's called SOLA TV. I'd like to introduce our anchors, Joe Macaluso and Don Dubuque. Thanks for being here, gentlemen.
Take it away. To roll, man.
Take it away.
That's it.
I'm all set.
Well, good. Welcome back, Don. Good to see you.
We've known each other a little while. I don't think we need any formal introductions.
Yeah, a long time. You know, and like Sam said, this is the end of a several months process of trying to get this. I guess that the people who we know best, and you and I know outdoorsmen throughout the state, what we want to tell you is that we're going to take whatever is outside and bring it inside to your home every week. And I know you like to do that too.
Absolutely. You know, that's one angle of promoting the outdoors. And I got a tip from a guy, Grits Gresham, if you remember Grits.
Right.
He said, you know, young man, this is back in my early days of getting started in outdoor writing and broadcasting. He says, you know, you're going to have the tough job. My job all these years has been fun, getting out there doing the hook and bullet stuff. But there's a lot of issues now. There's a lot of politics in the outdoors and much more high technology now. And
right.
I took his advice to heart, and, you know, that's hopefully what we're going to continue to carry on here.
Well, we're not only going to talk about the issues of the day, we're going to try to tell you where to go, what to do, and when you get there, how to do it better than maybe you did it before. Another thing is, too, and you and I are on that political front where we see it happening every day, we are going to talk about issues that affect sportsmen. Hot topic right now for you is, you know, all of the red snapper issues that we're going through.
That one, the 14-inch limit on bass in the Atchafalaya.
Right.
The attempts to raid money from the Fish and Wildlife Trust Fund. A lot of things that sportsmen need to keep up on. And unfortunately, there hasn't been enough media out there covering, and hopefully we can fulfill that.
Well, one of the things we're going to tell, I know Don feels strongly about this too, a couple things coming up in the next couple of weeks, the election. You know, it's something we might want to take very seriously. We've come through a pretty stormy 4 years, you know, in this current administration that's really has seen a lot of raiding on what we recreational fishermen consider to be our treasures. Another thing, we have state elections coming up. We have local elections coming up. All of that has to do, believe it or not, it does infringe or can affect how you go into the outdoors. We need more ramps and launches, and that's a local politics issue. We need to get that out to everybody and let them know that when you want a new launch in your area or you think you need upgrading, you need to go see your local politicians, right?
Yeah, but don't be mistaken. This is not going to be all issues and politics.
No.
We have a lot of fun on this show.
We are going to have a lot of fun.
We got some characters that'll be joining us, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
A lot of characters? Is that what, a big C or a little C?
Big C. Big C.
Big C. I think when we come back, we're going to tell you a little bit more about what we do right now and a little bit how we're going to do it, to tell you that what SOLA TV is going to be all about. It's going to be a lot about South Louisiana, some about North Louisiana, some of where we go and what we do, and cooking, I know, is right up your alley.
Yeah, well, that's part of the outdoors in Louisiana. Everybody in Louisiana is a good cook. At
Amen.
least knows how to cook and thinks they are.
Amen. Well, look, we'll come back, SOLA TV. We'll be right back. Don't touch that remote.
Right now we're burning about 8.5. I can't do this on Miami.
We're burning about 27.3 an hour for full throttle. That's extremely impressive.
Burning 29 gallons an hour. I'd be burning close to 40 with my Yamahas. Dude, I'm speechless.
To discover the Verado difference, find a local dealer at mercurymarine.com/Verado. Then take a test drive and experience it for yourself.
It's unbelievable.
Our nation's founding documents limit excessive governmental power. They protect our individual and property rights. The Declaration declares our rights come from God. The first of these, the right to life. The Constitution ensures our gun rights, a right so important it's enshrined in our Second Amendment, grants power to we the people as expressed by voting, not by judicial decree. Protect our rights. Judge Jeff Hughes, the rock-solid conservative.
Martian Bayou Magazine offers sportsmen in southeast Louisiana late-breaking information, great tips and how-tos, outdoor news, entertaining articles, and hotspots. The magazine covers some of Louisiana's best outdoor fun and gives enthusiasts the inside scoop from the area's top-notch fishing and hunting guides. Pick up a copy of Martian Bayou at your favorite sporting goods store. And if you can't find a copy, send an email to martianbayou@charter.net and let Chris know. Southeast Louisiana's best outdoor news is found in Martian Bayou.
Well, we're back with SOLA TV, and Don, you take the strangest adventures sometimes, at terrific times, but I don't think many people really know that they can fly out to catch fish. And you did it last week, and tell us all about it.
Well, it used to be very popular, but now Tofield Bourgeois has resurrected the whole idea of putting the fly into fishing. I'm not talking about a fly rod and reel. I'm talking about a seaplane going out. And while we're talking about introducing a lot of the folks that are going to be here on SOLA TV in the coming weeks, Tofield Bourgeois needs no introduction. He's a guy I've been working with for a long time. He's been in the business a long time. He's a great professional fishing guide. He operates a lodge. He's a great businessman, and he's just plain fun to be around.
Yeah.
Well, his latest achievement has been the seaplane trip. Leaves there from his lodge in Lafitte, and in about 20 to 25 minutes, if he goes west, you're surf fishing in Timberleer, or if you go east, he puts the plane down at the islands, Gosher Island, Breton Island, Curlew, that part of that chandelier chain, and we had the opportunity to do that. Now, we've made several trips over the summer months, and Breton Island is a very popular speckled trout fishing area during those summer months. In the wintertime, it changes. The trout have moved into the marshes, hopefully where we can get to them with easy access, but in the wintertime, you're concentrating on redfish. And not just any size red, we're talking about some of the big bulls that are out there cruising along. And the key to finding those fish out there this time of the year, really any time of the year, is you got to find the bait. And the key bait out there at the Breton Island chain is mullets. And what we found, and you can see it, we had a long string of mullet that went from one end of the island all the way to the other. It was probably about 5 yards wide, about 20 yards offshore, and underneath were the predator fish. Every once in a while, you'd see that great shower of mullets. That's caused by the jack crevalles and some of the sharks. The redfish, though, they're a little more subtle, but they're down there on the bottom. Bait we use, the gold spoon. Out there, you can cast it a long distance because it's heavy. You can drag it along the bottom where they're hanging out, or you can dangle it in front of them. Because part of the fishing out there, the technique, is sight fishing, believe it or not. You can actually see those big bulls. Water was clear, you spot them, you get that bait out in front of them, and like usual, some of them are going to turn their nose up, and others, when there's like a pair of them, which is what Tofield caught, there were two of them. And that competition between those fish creates a great strike and a great fight.
One of the things that we've seen before is when you're fishing in mullet, the jacks will get in there and bust them pretty good. And sharks, they're still out there. They'll be all the way out there into the first week of December when the water gets too cold for them. They'll rip through the top of them. But redfish will stay underneath and sort of wait for those smaller little mullet to drop out from underneath that big mass of mullet. And that's the fish they're looking for.
They ambush.
And from what you see now, how big a gold spoon are you throwing?
Well, we're throwing anywhere from ½ ounce, 3/4 ounce. It depends. You can get away with pretty much anything out there, even the lighter ones. Basically, the wind and your casting is going to determine what size you want, because you want to get some distance to your cast and cover as much area as you can. But talk about a fun fight. If you've ever caught a bull red from a boat, you know what that is. But when you're on his home turf and you're standing in the water and you got a bull red on the other end of the line, that's a fight. Of course, you're not going to handle these fish with your hands and take them. You got to beach them, bring them up to the bank, get them up. And of course, 1 over 27 inch per person, releasing these fish is really the key when you're out there on the big bulls. But that's not to say you're not going to catch any take-home fish. We caught everything from 8-inch redfish to the good 22, 24-inch size on up to 30 and 35-pound bulls. It's a lot of fun. If you can't fly out there, you can always go with Tofield. But if you don't have access by plane, it's accessible from Venice. It's reachable from Hopedale, Shell Beach, Delacroix. You just got to watch the fronts and the weather this time of year if you're headed out there, and also water temperature. Water temperature was warm enough where we could still stay with the regular jeans or cutoffs, but we're going to be getting to that time of year where if you're going, it's going to be waders because that water temperature is going to be cold.
Well, I know you talked to Tofield.
Tofield's always got some tips, and as usual, he's very outspoken on fishing Breton, a place he has really come to love. So here he is, Captain Tofield Bourgeois, fishing the islands of the Chandelier chain.
Hey, to come out here to Britton Island, there's a few ways to get out here. You can come by boat. Sometimes it can get windy, a little rough. You can come through Venice, I guess through Empire that way, maybe Shell Beach, Delacroix. But honestly, the way we do it down here is from the feet, 28 minutes. So my way of coming here is by air.
Hey y'all, Sam Barbera here to tell you about Moran's Marina at the Fouchon. Chris and his crew really have it all. A 24-hour deli and store with dock and roadside fuel. A first-string restaurant and bar. Waterfront hotel with wet slips. Plus, all of the premium tackle you need. And live bait.
Hey, Captain Chris Moran, Moran's Marina with the catch of the day.
Come down to Moran's Marina to hang out if nothing else. It's a fact. All roads lead to Moran's.
We know the jobs of the oil and gas industry are essential to our economy, yet they come with a price when land is harmed and drinking water ruined. We believe we can have both good jobs and clean drinking water and land by promoting landowner rights and requiring companies to restore land and drinking water to their natural state. A new, fair balance can be struck for Louisiana's future. For a natural state, join us today at cleanwaterandland.com.
So Julie, we need to tell everybody where they can get their cool solar gear.
Absolutely. Log on to www.solarwayoflife.com. We're going to have t-shirts, hats, stickers, anything that you would want that you can wear out in South Louisiana while you're hunting and fishing. Visit www.solarwayoflife.com and visit us on Facebook at Solar Way of Life.